Welcome to another exciting episode of Sports Catalog. The 2023 Africa Cup of Nations is underway with shocks aplenty in the group stage. Host nation Ivory Coast are set for a nervy final game against Equatorial Guinea after defeat to Nigeria on Thursday night, in a Group A that remains completely open. The result sends Equatorial Guinea top of Group A on 4 points before hosts Ivory Coast face Nigeria, 1700 hours Greenwich Mean Time, and puts Juan Mitch's side on the brink of a place in the last 16 following their 1-1 draw against Nigeria on Sunday. Nsu opened the scoring in the 21st minute and added 2 more in the second half, with Josette Miranda also on target in the Group A encounter. Guinea-Bissau's goals, their first in 8 matches at the final since 2017, came from an own goal from Esteban Orozco to level the score at 1-1 and a stoppage-time consolation effort from Zé Turbo. It was a memorable day for Nsu, the 34-year-old former Middlesbrough and Birmingham City man, who took advantage of slack defending to net a first AFCON hat-trick since Morocco's Soufiane Aloudi in a group stage encounter against Namibia 16 years ago. It was a heck of a performance from Nigeria. Under big pressure after their opening game draw against Equatorial Guinea, they stepped up in the face of the hosts and the home crowd and were excellent to a man that's thrown Group A wide. A huge matchup in the Africa Cup of Nations group stage took place in Abidjan as hosts Ivory Coast were defeated by 3-time winners Nigeria. The Super Eagles improved on a poor opening result in the tournament, putting the pressure on the Ivorians ahead of the final round of Group A games. Les Elephants were again without injured striker Sebastian Haller and their team after he missed their win over Guinea-Bissau, whereas changes were made by Nigeria following a draw against Equatorial Guinea. They switched formation and brought Samuel Chukwueze and Calvin Bassey into their starting lineup. Although not a glittering display, Nigeria's work rate left Ivory Coast chasing shadows. Osimhen was alone in attack for the most part, so on that alone, he perhaps deserved the credit. The African Player of the Year also had the first chance of the match, but blazed over from a tight angle while under pressure. Although not a glittering display, Nigeria's work rate left Ivory Coast chasing shadows. Osimhen was alone in attack for the most part, so on that alone, he perhaps deserved the credit. The African Player of the Year also had the first chance of the match, but blazed over from a tight angle while under pressure. It wasn't a great Ghana performance by any means, and Ghana's apathy in playing positive attacking football in the second half definitely contributed to greater pressure on their defense. But I'm not sure you can blame the manager for two individual errors, from Inaki Williams and Osman Bakari, that directly led to both of Egypt's goals. Egypt secured their second 2-2 draw at AFCON 2024 as the Pharaohs twice fought back to hold Ghana in Abidjan. Another draw leaves Egypt on 2 points from 2 matches so far in Group B, but the major talking point at full time was a first-half injury to captain Mo Salah. Thursday's Group B game at Stade Félix Houphouët-Boigny sparked into life. The 7-time AFCON champions fell behind to Mohamed Kudus' stunning opener. The drudgery of the first half made way for a frantic second period, however, with 3 goals in the space of 5 minutes and 10 seconds seeing the pendulum swing back and forth. Inaki Williams' dreadful pass enabled the excellent Omar Marmush to restore parity in the 69th minute, only for Kudus to double his tally 101 seconds later. Egypt and Ghana are still in danger of suffering early Africa Cup of Nations exits after a 2-2 draw in their heavyweight group stage encounter. Ghana must win their final group stage match against Mozambique if they are to avoid a second straight group stage exit, while Egypt have left themselves work to do too in their final match. Nigeria's last of their 3 tournament triumphs came in 2013 with the Ivory Coast becoming champions, for a second time, 2 years later. However, both nations have underperformed in recent years and will have their sights set on reaching the latter stages of the competition. Continue to join us on Sports Catalog for updates in Ivory Coast CAF Africa Cup of Nations. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share.